and welcome to the Fixing Football podcast. I'm taking over the Hortons duties this week, so I'm giving Martin a break from doing his Mark Chapper's impression. So I'm joined by Martin the DJ Naylor, Liam Look on the Bright Side O'Meara, and Scott's Football's Not Fun Anymore Naylor. So to start off with something different, I want to play Guess the Footballer. So I'll start off naming a team, and you're going to all have to have a chance of guessing the actual footballer. So, to start off this week, we're going to go to Bolton first. So, this is your first opportunity to get the footballer, Liam.
So, the footballer started at Bolton?
No. So, the first team is PSG. Can you name a footballer who I'm thinking of?
Is it JJ Okocha?
It is not JJ Okocha. So that's your first attempt.
Anelka.
No, whoa. No, you all get a chance. When we all go to our teams, you get your chance. So Liam's going to get two chances because when I talk about United, Liam gets my chance, my go. Okay. So starting with Bolton, Liam, 27th December 1977. What is this date?
Sorry. The 27th of December,
1977. Yeah.
Nicholas Anelka's birthday.
Shall I tell you?
No. So what is that date? Like, what's significant about that date?
Correct.
Is that when Kevin Nolan was born?
No. That date is the last time Bolton beat Blackpool away.
Oh, we're just talking about that. Oh yeah, it is 77. Yeah.
So Bolton this weekend, 4-1. Talk to me.
Well, Luke, as you quite rightfully point out, it's been nearly 50 years since we won there. So I had no expectations of winning this game. I knew we'd lose. You questioned that, and once again, I was proved right. So, yeah, we were too... Well, we did take the lead, and Blackpool equalised, went 2-1 up, and then a unlucky, what I would call, red card penalty decision. I think it was the right decision, but it's just one of those where you're kind of unlucky when it happens, really. The double jeopardy rule doesn't really save us because we're about a yard away from an open net. And then that, obviously, the game's over then. So we move on to Wigan.
Liam, was it a fair argument when Ian Everett said that he went for the ball, ref?
I think he did go for the ball.
From behind.
Yeah, exactly. There was no access to the ball. It was just one of those, you're in panic, trying to stop the goal. Like, yeah, he did go for the ball, but I had no complaints with the red card.
Okay.
Why do you think...
Go on, Scott.
Let's have a question. Why do you think you struggle so much at Blackpool's ground? Like, it's been ages since you've won there. I mean, you don't play them that often over the years, but why do you think it's been such a hard place to go?
The prevailing smell being the big one, I think. Just all you can smell when you get there is rock, donuts, and donkey shit, and I think that intimidates us. And tangerine's such a weird colour as well. Like, it's really... I was at that ground last month, and it's just weird. Like, it's just too bright. So I think it's
very garish. Very garish.
So,
as far as excuses go, this is right up there.
But yeah, I think that's the reason why. But we move on to Wigan tomorrow, the big one.
So, your reaction this weekend, Liam, it was very subdued, and Naylor kind of pointed out in our group chat that it was very in our Fixing Football podcast WhatsApp group.
Sorry, which Naylor are you referring to?
Oh, sorry, Martin the DJ Naylor.
Cool.
It was very subdued. Okay, you were saying that it's okay because Portsmouth and Derby have kind of let you off the hook, but why are you not taking this as a big opportunity to kind of state your claim to go up?
Because it was a hard game, and some games are harder than others. So it's a 46 game season. it's well hard to win every game. It's not a ground we do well at. It's not the type of fixture we do well at. We generally don't do well against stronger sides in the league. We're a possession-based team that essentially tries to pass the other team into submission. If a team has quality to attack us off the ball and essentially scare us, then they can do damage against us. So your Blackpools, your Barnsleys, your Derbys, even Wigan, those types of teams worry me. We don't take points off them because they're built to beat us.
Mine thoughts
on Bolton.
as in Liam's kind of
Liam's
do you not see-
reaction
Yeah.
is I'm trying to think of the word, but it's playing it down. The fact that Bolton seem to be trying to do everything they can to throw it away at the moment. They started that this weekend nearly 20 points above Blackpool, so it's not exactly a top of the table clash, and they know that they're going to have a good following. And I think that they shit when they get a game like that where they should win. I think Bolton are great at stepping up and getting a result when they need it, but I don't think they're good at turning over teams when it's probably expected of them. That's my thoughts currently. I still think they'll do it, go up, but I'd like them to do it as champions, and I'd like them to do it. What's the word? Clearly, I'm trying to think of a better word than that, but I'd like them to do it well.
Liam, so Tuesday, is this game massive then?
Well, it's always massive. This is the biggest game of the season, isn't it? This is the derby. This is the one. They have battered us for years. We owe them. Losing will not do here. Even though, theoretically, this is the type of game that we do lose, I will not accept defeat in this game tomorrow. Not after them beating us twice in a row, 4-0 at home. Especially this season when we're better than them, really. So that should not be happening. So I will not be as philosophical tomorrow after about 10 pints if we lose this one. I will not be the same person.
Are you going?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I'm going to be heading into Wigan about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I reckon.
You let people know which bar, because I'll make sure the podcast goes out before then. And then if anyone's got any problems with anything you might have said previously, they can come and just have a friendly chat, and that'd be nice.
I don't know.
Right. I'll keep everyone up to date on the Twitter. You can follow us on there.
Can I have the Twitter back? No, actually.
No.
Yeah, I'm still in Twitter jail because of certain someone. Okay, let's move on to Liam's favourite topic, Manchester United. What a terrible, shocking, every other negative adjective I can think of result that was. But
Why, Luke?
But really, is it that shocking? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The results this season say otherwise. We are not playing good at all, and we're losing against these teams.
No,
So
it's not. It's not shocking. It's not out of character for this Man United side. But Fulham beating Man United at Old Trafford is always. I put it in the shocking bracket.
Yeah.
So why is it? Why are they doing? Why are they performing so badly now?
Well,
or so inconsistently, because they were actually on a good bit of form. So why it's so inconsistent?
Well, I think form-wise, it's the results have been, if we win, it's questionable. If we lose, it's justifiable. Like, we can't really argue that we should have won because we're so inconsistent. I can't believe we've let Fulham play like Real Madrid, and Iwobi was like Figo, and Pereira was like Zidane. We're making these teams look great, and I think as soon as the tempo raises, we just fall apart. Now, I've been very critical of Ten Hag all through the season and all through the podcasts, and I'll kind of put the question to you guys: am I being too harsh on him, or is it him? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
I will.
Go on, Scott.
Oh, no.
Yeah, go on.
Oh,
There's been a
that's
lot of Liam. No, there's been a lot of Liam. You go ahead,
Okay.
Scott.
Fair enough. No, I mean, in my opinion, when we did the predictions at the beginning of the season, I had United. I'm pretty sure I had you 7th. I think I had you maybe 8th. I can't remember exactly. I think it was 7th. And you're sort of there or where I expected you to be. I don't think you've got particularly great squad. I think you've got some big names in there who perhaps should be performing to a higher level. I think you've got a manager who has proved at the time I made that prediction was still a bit of an unknown entity. Would he kick on in his second season? Don't think he's a particularly inspiring guy to hear talk or play for. You kind of want somebody with a bit of, I don't know, a bit of the Klopp, Mourinho style thing as a manager of Man United. You want somebody who's got a bit of something about them, and he seems a bit bland to me. And when you're playing for the biggest club in the world, you need to have a bit more about you. So I actually don't think you are being. I know. I actually think you have been a little bit too harsh because I don't really know what else you expected from this team. I think there's at least 4 teams better than you, and the other teams who you're in and around. I don't think there's much in it in terms of the personnel in the squad and how well they're coached. So I actually think United are probably where they should be, personally.
Scott, before you jump in, Liam, Scott, so do you think we need a manager or do you think we need a coach? Or both?
That's an interesting one because I would have called Alex Ferguson more a manager than a coach. It's a good point. What would you say you've got now?
Caretaker. I don't know, because I think Ten Hag was brought in to be a coach, and he was trying to bringing this Ajax way of playing. And he came out in a press conference saying United will never play like Ajax, which is warning signs to me, to be honest. So
yeah,
I don't. Maybe with Dan Ashworth coming in, maybe can work with him, but I just don't see it.
I don't think Ten Hag's the right guy for you. I do think you should change it. But if you're asking what sort of coach you should go for next, I think you need an elite coach. You need Thomas Tuchel. I think, in my opinion, I think that's the guy for you. I hope he doesn't go to you, but I think that's who you need.
Okay, Liam.
I was just confused. I think Scott's covered a lot of it, but personally, I was just confused because all I heard all week was how Man United were back. That was what that's what everyone was saying. And it just looks like they might not be back again. And I was just really confused because, 5 in a row was what I was hearing. Champions League again. That's what, but it just looks like.
Who was saying this, Liam?
Everyone, all United was saying this. You were saying it.
Oh.
All United heads, all the top Reds, Eamon Holmes, you were always saying it. But it looks like you might not be back, Luke.
I don't think were back, Liam. The thing is, I think we was in a position to, if we had a good run of continue our good run of games, then potentially we could have maybe looked at top 4, but there's no chance. We've got City next.
What's good? Because for me, watching you look shit, and I keep saying this to you, like everyone, I think the West Ham game was the one that really stood out to me. I think when you played West Ham. It might have been at home actually, and I just thought, what process running this game, and it didn't even have packets of playing, and I was sat there like, it can't. And I think you won the game 3-0 in the end. But I was like, they've got no control of this game. Like, you've got quality, especially at the top end of the pitch. Particularly Garnacho. Højlund looks like he's getting a bit of confidence. But you've got absolutely no control of games.
So, midfield.
Not just midfield. I just think, just defensively, it's not just like he's saying, get the ball and keep the ball in midfield. And I think that's what a lot of people point to. I think Casemiro particularly looks like he's struggling at that. And Bruno Fernandes is never where Bruno Fernandes needs to be from midfield perspective.
Yeah.
So you got Manu sort of looking for people to pass to because he spent the last 12 years in the academy learning to pass to players. Got to the first team and they don't actually pass there. So it must be quite confusing for him, I imagine. It's really good that one actually stayed at United, though, in the academy, not actually left for City. That was quite good for United's part. So fair play on that. But yeah, I think when he says he wants to play like Ajax, what he meant was his Ajax. And to be honest, for me, they were just a lucky cup team anyway.
Fair point. So, all right then, Liam. Is Ten Hag's worst United manager since Fergie?
No, Solskjaer is, but he's probably the second worst.
Yeah, but if you look at Ten Hag's results and the team he's lost to, the 7-0 against Liverpool, any other manager, that would be gone.
No, because United are very reluctant to sack managers. They seem to think they're above it. So you end up getting this like point where the fans decide when they get sacked. So that point where the fans turn on them, is when they do it. They're not, because the Glazers just aren't really that bothered. As long as you're qualifying for the Champions League at least every other year, they weren't bothered what was going on. As we covered last week in the American stuff, they couldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They'd probably just like check the phone every once in a month, like emails. Fans aren't happy with Mourinho. Nice one. Anyway, what's going on with the Tampa Bay? Like, they're not bothered. So, United just don't sack managers just because they can't be bothered with the getting the external HR people in that do it on their behalf.
Sack or stay?
I don't know if that's the case.
Sorry, Mike, go on.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think there's clubs like Chelsea that have a culture and the manager role, which is a bit more European, I guess, bit more harsh, and it's worked for them. And you've had clubs like United who have had one manager for a significant long time, and that's worked for them. So to change that culture overnight is difficult, and the fans probably aren't expecting a sacking culture either, despite the poor form or results. I don't think it's the club unwilling to sack, but I think we've seen it. If Ten Hag doesn't get the Champions League this year, I suspect he'll go.
Right, so you're sack as well. Liam, sack, stay?
I think he's already gone, to be honest. I just think they're not being weird and announcing it early. I think I'd be surprised if he's there next year.
Yeah, I'm in the same thought process as you. I think he's gone in the summer. Okay, before we move on, Liam, second chance to get the player. So you've had PSG. The second team is Real Sociedad.
So he's played this player has played for PSG and Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
Sociedad.
Good to allow a lot of like blank thinking time on an audio podcast.
Yeah, dead air is always popular. I have no idea.
Have a wild guess.
Joaquin.
Wrong. Okay.
I'll get another club.
Did he play for Bolton?
No, it's not. No, it's only PSG and it's only Real Sociedad.
Oh, Joaquin didn't play for Bolton. You'd remember that.
No, I would. That's why I'm asking.
I also don't think he's played for Real Sociedad or PSG. So I'm just named a player that's not played for any of those clubs, to be fair there.
What's the relevance to Liam of this player, Luke? He played for Bolton as well, or he's just a player?
Just a player.
He just wants to see me suffer. Luke just wants to see me suffer.
Okay. Let's move on to the big match this weekend.
Arsenal v Newcastle.
Your last, Martin.
All right.
Scott, how are you feeling?
Well, not great. Are we talking about Chelsea as a whole or this game in particular? Are we going on the game in particular?
Let's just talk about the game. I only saw the second half because I was out Sunday lunching with Martin. But what I saw in the second half, I think Q had chances to win the game.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah. And it's a story of Chelsea Football Club for maybe the last since we won the Champions League. So it's fucking last time we scored a 1-on-1, I think, when we won that fucking trophy. It's the same old story. It's a broken record. We cannot score goals in moments that really, really matter. And it happened in the last 2 cup finals against Liverpool. Big chances. Mason Mount one in particular, 1-on-1, 6 yards out, and it hits the post. So yeah, we had maybe, I'd say probably 3 really, really clear chances to have put that game away. And we just don't have the bottle. We don't have the quality up front to do it. And we don't have the people we don't have the players who've been there in big moments to do that. We've got a team full of inexperienced and or not good enough players asked to go out there and try and bring a major trophy home. And you're just asking them to do things that they're not capable of. So yeah, we had good chances to win it. Cup finals can always be always be very tight, and even if the gap in quality is big, it's first versus 11th. Let's not try and sugarcoat it with Klopp's kids and whatever else you want to call it. It's first versus 11th. Liverpool. It was actually embarrassing for Liverpool that it went as long as it did. They should have battered us long before because we just aren't good. The table doesn't lie. So several chances to win, but just like Chelsea have been for the last maybe 2.5 years, not good enough to put them away, and we got punished for it.
So you think the major factor is you're not scoring the goals, or you're just not good enough?
Nothing
Let's
about
just
the
talk
club.
about this. Let's just talk about this game. Just we don't have to talk about because Liam seems to think you ran out of steam, but you seem to say that you didn't run out of steam.
You know what? I've been thinking about this debate that we had, and while I still don't 100% agree, here's where a lot of my thought process is coming from. One, I definitely think that Poch is a bollockless motherfucker who doesn't have it in him to go for the kill. We had enough there. We were on towards the closing stages of normal time. We were on top. We were having quite a few chances. We had a lot of the ball. We were pressing and pressing, and the extra time came at a good time for Liverpool. We didn't look that tired then. However, one thing that Chelsea fans got sold on with Pochettino, and this is something that we had massive complaints about fitness under Graham Potter. Everyone looked sluggish. Everyone looked tired. Everyone looked awful. And one of the big positives about Pochettino, who wasn't a popular choice among Chelsea fans when he was hired, was that he was a fitness guy. Loads of his ex-players will come out and tell you and say, oh yeah, he absolutely kills in pre-season. The fitness regimes are grueling. So I've been given the impression by my club, our players are super fit and they've been under, really rigorous fitness regimes. And apparently, a word on the Chelsea grapevine, is that Pochettino saves his most rigorous fitness regimes for the day before a game, like a fucking idiot. Rather than doing that on Monday, he does it on Friday night, like a fucking right. So this is where I'm under the impression that my team has spent the summer getting much, much fitter. So that's maybe where my opinion was skewed a bit. I still am very much of the opinion that we were sitting back because we were told to. We saw it in the City game. We came out in the second half after going 1-0 up. Petrovic was time wasting in minute 51. It is embarrassing. And that's clearly an instruction. Poch is getting these players in at half time and saying, just relax, calm down, take it. He's not got it in him to go for the kill. We've seen it so many times this season. So while fitness, clearly, they're in added time, players are going to be getting tired for the most part. But we did also have a fresh front line of Nkunku, Mudryk, and Madueke, who got all the energy in the world. They can run just like Liverpool subs can, but they weren't doing. So that to me tells me it's more instruction than fitness. But maybe the wool's been pulled over my eyes. Maybe we're not as fit as we should be. So I do think I'll maybe concede a little bit, but I still think it was more instruction than actual fitness.
Right. Okay. So I suppose the same question goes to you. What I talked about Ten Hag. Are you going to get rid of him? Because let me just say a few points before you kind of decide. You did say at the beginning of the season that Chelsea are going to finish roughly where they are. I think reaching a final with them is probably overreaching. You weren't expecting it. Are you going to give him this season and then maybe see what happens in the summer, or are you saying just get rid of him? Are you being harsh on him, basically?
No. I personally never wanted Pochettino as Chelsea manager. When it was looking like Luis Enrique was my pick. He was always the guy I wanted. And the reason for that is because he'd achieved success with he'd had a lot of success before with Barcelona, and he's managed a lot of big players. And those are the kind of hallmarks. He's a big name, and he had the balls to do the job. Now, when we hired Pochettino, I wasn't very happy about it, but I could somewhat see the thought process and see the logic in, a young squad, which he's got past experience of handling and getting playing to a high level. So it's like, okay, not who I would have picked, but let's see how it goes. But he's proven from very early on in the season that he's completely out of his depth, totally tactically inept, and has not a fucking iota of a clue how to get the best out of the team that he's got. So I did place Chelsea coming maybe lower top half of the table, maybe 8th and 9th or whatever. That's just my personal opinion. That's not where I think Chelsea Football Club should be aiming to be. We should still be aiming for Europe. And that is Pochettino's job, is to get us there. Whether I believe it's going to happen or not is another story. So, no, I don't think I'm being too harsh on him at all. I think he came in, he got a lot of investment. Whether that was spent in the right places is a completely fucking separate conversation. It absolutely hasn't been. But no, his job's to get us back to the job of the Chelsea Football Club manager is not to just fucking make do with what you've got. It's to get those players playing to the right level and getting Chelsea back where the vast majority seems to think that they're supposed to be. So no, I don't have any sympathy for him. I don't think he's come into a perfect situation, but he's absolutely embarrassed himself on multiple occasions, and I just want to see the back of him.
Liam, can I ask you about the match itself?
Yeah. Yes, you can, Martin.
There was a big flap on about how Klopp's done this with kids. Is that do you think it was a great win for Liverpool, or do you think they just took advantage of a poor Chelsea side?
Oh, we're just shit. Let's just call it what it is. Chelsea are just a bad team. We're a bad football team. That is it. Okay, yeah, Liverpool had some youngsters out there, but so did we. Sky themselves have debunked their own commentary team's narrative that Liverpool had a younger squad out when we did. Call it Premier League minutes, Premier League experience, call it whatever you want. You're also seeing there the benefit of top quality coaching, which these young players have had under Klopp and his minions and his team. Maybe not Klopp directly all the time they've been at Liverpool, because they're obviously only academy boys, some of them, or they've been in the academy. But no, this was, in fact, like I said, Liverpool, we're 11th of 35 points. We're in the Brentfords and the Fulhams and the Palaces and the Wolves. We're not, and Liverpool are top of the league. They're meant to be winning titles. They should be beating us. Their second, third string is twice the team our first team is. We're just not that good. And the fact it actually went to extra time, if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm thinking, like, we should have battered them. They really should.
I'm sorry, that's absolute nonsense. It was a second string Liverpool team.
So what?
There's a lot of players in the Liverpool team I couldn't name now. I couldn't name them against a billion-pound team.
But that doesn't,
it does. No, let me finish. Also, what I want to point out as well is that I'm not surprised Liverpool that really rose at the end, because in the ground it sounded like a home game for Liverpool. By the way, I didn't even know if was Chelsea fans there. The atmosphere was so flat. So I've heard so many Chelsea fans coming afterwards and like slamming the team and slamming the manager, but they might as well not been there. It was the atmosphere from the Liverpool, and let's be honest, Liverpool have, they're going to how many cup finals, but I mean that's the 6th loss in a final in a row for Chelsea. I think to lay that at Pochettino's door is, I think, pretty naive. And I think if you look on the
Can
lineup,
lay this one up.
I think if you look at the lineup
at his door, he was the manager.
I think if you look at the lineups, I think Chelsea should have walked this game. I think it's a massive opportunity missed, and they'll have a trophyless season off the back of it, and they deserve it because the performance was awful.
Yeah, we were always going to have a trophyless season. Like this isn't new.
It was there.
We're shit, Liam. We are a shocking football team. We're not supposed to be winning things. I don't understand this narrative that the Klopp's kids have beaten the £1 billion Galacticos. It's £1 billion spent on shit. £1 billion worth of shit and a tenner's worth of shit. It's still shit. It doesn't matter how much we've spent on it. It's fucking abysmal players, a shocking manager, and I just don't understand this whole Chelsea should have. No, we're 11th fucking place. The table doesn't lie as to how good you are. We are not good. Liverpool should be beating us. Their second string, third string is better than our first string. And they proved it. They proved it yesterday.
So why are you so angry?
No,
because my club has been fucking ruined within 18 months. And this is why, to your point, you're right about the atmosphere in Wembley. It did feel, particularly towards when Liverpool started getting a bit more of a foothold, it was pretty much a home game. Chelsea fans it's like a library. Stamford Bridge is a fucking library, which is embarrassing in and of itself. But what have we got to cheer for? Give us something to. This is
final. You're telling me that you're shit and you're in a cup final.
We are shit. We are shit. What were we doing there? Tell me what we were doing there. Tell me what we were doing there. We lost fucking 1-0 to Middlesbrough in the fucking first round of the semi-final.
You beat
Liam, don't. If we're going to talk about this, let's talk about it like factually. We are shit. We are 11th place. We should be losing to first. That's just normal.
You know, one thing that annoyed me about it, though, is the narrative that Klopp was brave enough to play these kids, that he wouldn't have had it any other way if, he had Salah and Nunez and all his first team fully fit, like he was always going to go with the youth. I think that narrative's really annoyed me.
I heard Jamie Carragher say, put this next to your Champions League trophy.
One of the proudest days of his life, he's called it.
Oh, well, I'm glad it's a good thing he's leaving because his standards have clearly slipped. He beat 11th place in the League Cup final. Congrats, Jurgen. Well done.
Okay, before we move on, then, disallowed goal. Do you want to talk about that?
Which one?
I haven't seen the full replay. The one where Jackson slid it to Sterling.
No. The Van Dijk blockage.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think it's a massive let off for Chelsea, which they didn't learn from because Liverpool scored almost exactly the same goal at the end of the game.
Which is also Poch's fault.
Yeah. Regardless. Liam, what have you ever seen that given before in your life? Offside for blocking?
No.
I can't remember ever seeing that.
But what I would say is I've never seen it done as blatantly as Endo did it. It was really weird. It was like he turned around and just like put his arms out and just completely like as if to say, everyone look, I'm blocking the runner. And it's not actually the foul that's been given, is it? It's the interfering with play in the offside, isn't it? So
it wasn't a foul. It was just the fact that he was offside, then blocking someone.
So yeah,
he could have done that onside.
I think it's fair enough. I've not seen him given, but it was also so obvious that once you've seen it, you can't disagree with it. I think.
I've never seen it. Luke, have you ever seen that? Just is football dying? We fucking spoke about blue cards the other week, and now we've got this shit. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. How do we determine who's interfering with play now?
Yeah, it's like future predicting how the ball's gonna and where it's gonna be, position and players and how they're gonna move. Liam will obviously, he's Mr. Ref, he'll agree with everything, but I think it's. You shake your head, Liam. Do you not agree? Or do you agree?
It's just quite obvious that he blocked him, isn't it? It's not it's not subjective. It's clearly objective that he's blocked the runner. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I get sometimes if it was like questionable, like they were maybe running side by side and he maybe gets ahead of him, and I'd get it. But like, he literally faces the other way.
But you see it on corners. Every corner in every match in the whole football pyramid, you'll see blocking. So the fact
Maybe not offside from a corner.
Yeah, but he's not give a foul, has he? Yeah, it's
but then you're deciding who's interfering with play. They were saying that Colwell was marking Van Dijk. It didn't look that clear. It looked like Van Dijk was with was it Chilwell? I think
it is there. I mean, it's kind of their responsibility.
Chilwell's kicking off with a teenager somewhere. To be honest, probably weren't getting involved. But
it's fucking boring. It's fucking his narrative is just ridiculous. You may as well work with Sky.
But I think it's offside.
Right. Okay. So basically, Chelsea shit, and Liverpool quadruple potential.
No.
They'll win 2. I think they'll win this and they'll win the Europa League, I reckon.
No.
Oh God, they're still in Europa, aren't they? You know.
Do you not think they'll win the Europa?
No.
All right. No.
I can't remember who's in it. I just don't. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't.
West Ham will win it. Is that what we're saying?
No, I just think they'll come unstuck. But if they do get to the final, I don't know. There's a lot of what I've seen of Liverpool recently, injuries mounting up especially, but there's some legs going. If they can get people back and firing quick from them injuries, then they're probably in with a chance. If they get to a final, they'll beat most teams on the day. Liverpool, they're very hard to beat, especially in them big matches. But I feel like the legs are running out a little bit. So unless they do get them injuries back, and then them players who are coming back start firing sharpish, then I think they're going to run out of steam. That's just my prediction and hope.
Okay, so before we move on, Scott, guess the player. So we've had PSG, we've had Real Sociedad, and now you've got Rangers. Any idea?
Mikel Arteta.
Correct. So moving on to Arsenal. This is your time.
Hang on. But it's Arteta. I got PSG and Sociedad. And you get... Sorry, go on.
So the next one was going to be Arsenal to Naylor. But Scott got it.
Which Naylor?
Martin Naylor.
All right, okay. Just checking.
So, Martin, this is your opportunity for the high praises you want to give Arsenal, because obviously you're hosting every week. So I'm giving the mic over to you to kind of say, are you going to do it this season, and how well Arteta has got Arsenal playing, because your form's the best out of top 3. And from my point of view, I think the only 2 really critical games you have left in the fixtures is, I think, City away and Spurs away. You get a result there. I think you win it. And obviously you've got us at the end, second last game of the season, but I think you'll beat us. So, what's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, the weekend was a really great result. They were absolutely shit, and I didn't get to catch it live. I was working, so I was kept watching the commentary on the app, and it looked like an absolute domination. And I think having to watch Match of the Day back afterwards, they were really kind with the time that we were given in that slot to Newcastle. It seemed like an absolute domination. We were right on it. Players are clicking. I was saying a lot early on that we were stuck in third gear and we were just churning out results, and that's what sort of when we did come unstuck, especially when we lost to West Ham and Fulham in a row. It looked like we started to derail a little bit and everyone was writing it off. But we've definitely looked like we've kicked it up a gear, so that's good. Players are firing, Erdegaard's finding form, Saka's finding the net, Martinelli and Havertz are chipping in, which is, especially the Havertz bit, is very unexpected, but very welcome. And players are coming back. We seem to be the only team in that fight for the title that are looking like full strength. So I'm hopeful and optimistic about it. I've said from the beginning that we were going to win the league, and that was just going off what we saw last season and the fact that we improved with our signings in the summer. Like someone like Declan Rice has been unbelievable, and he's carried us a lot. He's got us through games in a big way. So, yeah, really good to get one back. I felt like we owed Newcastle one. Seemed like the atmosphere was good in the stadium, and yeah, we're playing well. I'm looking forward to the running. And like I say, we've only got... There was some prediction, some supercomputer about the projected difficulty of the games remaining. And out of us, Liverpool and City, we was the lowest in terms of how difficult our games remaining were. And obviously Liverpool and City have to play each other. We have to play City. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the running now. I think we're right in with a chance.
Does that supercomputer take into account that you're the worst of those three teams?
No, because it doesn't take Liam O'Meara's opinion into it. Just takes the facts and form. I would have thought. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want this run to continue for as long as we can. I think there's a good chance that we can be top by the time we play City. In terms of the way the other fixtures go, and that's taking with Liverpool and City playing each other into that. So, if we are there then, and we can go there and get a result, which we've already beat City this season, and getting a result, I would class as anything from a 0-0 upwards in our favour, because a draw would work in that scenario. So, yeah, that's my hope. I think we play them in about 4 games' time, maybe less. I'm not sure, but yeah, in a couple of weeks.
So there's the positives. Now there is a negative, Martin. Champions League result.
Yeah, we lost. It was a weird one. I'm sure most people have seen, but it was a 93rd minute stonker from 25 yards, and it was totally against the run of play. Potter were all right, defended well. But Arsenal dominated it, and we, looking at that at 92 minutes, I was happy to take a 0-0 back to the Emirates, and I still think we'll do enough. In any previous fixtures we've played Porto, we've not done well at their place, and I don't think English teams do in general, but we haven't done well at their place, and we've gone on and spanked them at the Emirates. So I'm hoping that history repeats itself for them, and we'll be comfortably into the next round. But as I've said all along, the Premier League is the ultimate title for me. I know I've never won the Champions League, and people hold that in higher regard, but for me, the Premier League's the hardest trophy to win in the world.
Why City won loads of them then?
They're the best.
Only one Champions League.
Good question. I don't know how to answer that. They're the best. I don't know.
Just on Champions League then, is it not 7 times on the bounce that Arsenal have gone out last 16?
I'm going to guess by that leading question that the answer is yes.
Why do you not
do about that? What do you want me to do about that, Luke?
I'm just saying it's just a fact that maybe you should be able to get past the last 16.
Who have their matches been against? I think 3 of them were Bayern Munich, and the other 3 were fucking Barcelona with Messi and David Villa and everyone.
Go on, sorry.
Who have United got in the Champions League?
Good one, Liam. Good one. Back to Arsenal 9. So, I know you're saying the Premier League is the be-all end-all, but if you're saying you're the best team in the Premier League, shouldn't you be thinking you should be going for the Champions as well? Because City are probably favourites, and you're saying you're better than City. Why can't you go for the Champions League?
And it's easier to win, apparently, as well.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to be favouriting one over the other, providing results all going our way. I think we'll continue to play our strongest team in both fixtures until it's done. the likelihood is that I don't know. We can win them both. Fuck it, I'll put 50 quid on right now. I don't see us
Do
losing.
it.
The only team I see us losing to
Go on,
is
Luke. There you
is
go.
City in the cup tie. I'll put how much shall I put on now? Arsenal win Champions League and
There
Premier
you go,
League.
Luke. Put your money
Let's
where your
find the
mouth is,
bets.
Luke.
That's
You'll
what I'll
fucking
do.
retire at those odds. You don't retire. That's that fucking long. Hold on, right? Hold on. So
Arsenal
hold on.
Arsenal
No,
are
no, hold on.
third favourites
Hold on.
to win the Champions League currently.
Hold on.
Still.
Hold on. So you think that the only team that'll do you is City when Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are still in, and
Potentially
PSG.
Real Madrid. I don't see anything to do with PSG or Bayern Munich that would worry me
PSG would
right now.
PSG would absolutely annihilate you. I don't know
Are
what's.
you all right? Have you watched any PSG or French football
What are
recently?
we? What are we doing? What are we pretending with Arsenal that they're not that good? Why are we doing this? Why are we having a song and dance?
Just you, yeah. Anti-Arsenal stance is
Yeah, I
getting
am.
you're getting
But
yourself riled up, but it's fine.
It's rooted.
Stop.
It's rooted in fact. It's rooted in fact.
Scott, I've got a question. Do you think
Go on.
Arsenal are happy to pretend that they're going to win anything, but like push comes to shove, they actually don't believe they can win anything?
Somewhat. I think Arsenal quite happy being in and around the picture versus. I don't think it's like do or die. We have to win. I think it's as long as we're close. That's it. That's enough.
And they can celebrate when they beat good teams occasionally.
When was it Spurs who got tagged with? Oh, we put pressure on that year. Remember that year we put pressure on the top. I think that's a Spurs line.
Liam, I'll give you a quick guess. We'll go around the table. What do you reckon the odds are of Arsenal to win currently on Sky Bet of Arsenal to win the Premier League and Champions League?
I know what they may as well be, but you're asking what I think they actually are. To win the double.
The Premier League and Champions League.
I reckon 8-1.
Luke?
I go 5-1.
8-1. Hold on. Have you ever bet before, you two? Do you know what the odds are in
Might as well
real
be
life?
evens.
I know.
What? 5-1.
8-1 to win both. No.
Yeah.
5-1. Are you mad?
Scott, what would you say? If you had to guess
win
what these
both.
odds are.
45-1.
You're closer than them two. It's 28-1,
Well,
which I think is generous.
Hang on. I just heard that you've got the best midfielder
Yeah.
in the world and only City can stop you. You're definitely going to win the league. And now you're telling me, oh, actually, no, it's 1,000,000-1. Like, what you're about, Liam? We can't expect us to actually win it, even though I've just been saying for the last 10 minutes we're going to win it. Like, the problem is I listen to you. Like, you say it so much, it seeps in. I start thinking, oh, actually, Arsenal might win, even though I know that will never happen. And
What are you talking about? This is the biggest Liam O'Meara segment piece of shit that I've ever heard. This guy speaks so much shit. Honestly, if ever our WhatsApp chat got leaked, the few listeners who remain after deal with him in real life would be gobsmacked. I said I believe because I believe in Arsenal. I'm not like you lot who hate your own teams. Absolutely cry yourselves to sleep because of the absolute shite you have to deal with.
I don't believe Bolton are going to win because I go to Baltimore games. I don't feel like those two things are linked. Like, I don't think. I support Bolton, so I think they'll win every single time. They'll win if they like try and queue up before somebody else will get there first. Like, I don't think they'll win everything just because I support them.
No, Liam, you were playing Blackpool away.
Yeah,
and you were 20 points in front of them nearly in the league.
I was
you
right.
Not think you might have been a bit favourites?
Well, do you think that me thinking that we were going to lose would have impacted the result?
No, you think they might lose because when they win, you get best of both worlds. You're like, yeah, I thought we were going to lose anyway. And then when you win, you're like, oh, we won. So you can never take the moral low ground.
No, you asked me what I think about this Blackpool game, and I go, I think we'll lose, and we lost.
Lies.
What do you want from me?
You lied. I thought we were friends, and you keep lying to me.
I feel like I'm pretty open when it comes to Bolton. Like,
no.
What do you want from me?
I want you to stop lying to me and to my poor little brother and to Luke, our friend, and to the people who are listening.
I've said
And
I think
yourself, and of all things, yourself. And let's get off Bolton anyway. Sick of the fucking Bolton chat. We spent 20 minutes on them at the beginning. Fucking stupid team.
Okay,
Absolutely
let's
sick of talking to you about Bolton. Arsenal are going to win the Champions League because I think they are. I don't think we're going to lose. So how can I say we're going to not win it? And we're going to win the league because I want us to really bad. And if I want something, and you set your mind to it, you can achieve anything.
but it's not you.
Oh, apparently it is when we lose. God, you want to see my phone will blow up when we lose? Feels like me.
Right, let's move on. Let's give it a bit of love to other
Is that
teams
it?
in the Prem.
Are we done?
No, we're not
We're
going
not
on
done.
to my special fix for this week. But before we move
Fix
on
this
to
podcast to finish it.
that,
What, is this the halfway point? Is that what you're trying to tell us here?
we're nearly at the halfway point.
I
Drop
don't-
in.
I may leave the ground early if that's the case.
So, Brian Everton 1-1 this weekend.
What? What?
Hold on, I want to talk about Brighton Everton for a second.
Yeah.
Only a second because it relates to a little bit to United. But did you see the Billy Gilmore sending off?
I
No.
didn't see
Right. Shake your head. That's great for audio content. Right. So Billy, and did you see the Harry Maguire tackle? Where he got
I did,
yellow
yeah.
carded. It was exactly the same. It was exactly
So
the same.
So you're saying the refs are no good, basically?
Yeah. Let's just circle back to that one for a minute. I can't understand because Harry Maguire's got this nice guy personality or perceived personality, even though there's an ongoing trial that might beg to differ. But then there's got Billy Gilmore, this tough nut Scottish lad, who did the literally exact same tackle. It couldn't be more. If you'd have just changed the kit, you'd have thought it was the same. It was literally frame for frame the same. So I thought that was a bit double standards and would be a fun talking point. But I can see by the nodding heads that this is a non-starter. So we'll crack on with yours.
He's a really good player, I think, Billy Gilmore. Really, really good player. Yeah, that's all. Just wanted to sort of say that.
Yeah. The answer to Chelsea's problems, apparently. Oh, I know what'll help. Fucking Billy Gilmore. Yeah, of course. All right.
Right, let's go through some of the results. City, Bournemouth. Comfortable win for City.
It wasn't comfortable. Did you see any of it?
Yeah, I did.
It wasn't comfortable at all.
It was quite backs to the wall, actually, for quite a big portion of it.
We still got a result, though, didn't they?
Here's a question. Yes or no? Has Haaland been found out a little bit?
No, I don't think Haaland's been I don't think Haaland's been the at fault for any of City's shortcomings this season, and there's not been many. So no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think I've not really seen anyone go, tactically they've got him there, they know his game now. It's more, I just think he and City have been a little bit off the boil just in general. I think he's just not been as good this year. Put that down to what you want, but I don't think it's down to teams tactically sussing him out.
Fair point. Okay. Right. What about the Championship?
Are you all right?
What about it? Just bear with me.
I thought we were going to the
Bear with me.
Bundesliga. I thought that's what
Bear with me. Bear with me.
Right, go on. The
So-
Championship.
Plymouth Argyle. Can anyone tell me how they're doing?
Anyone
can
tell
say
me
it.
where Plymouth
I can.
is?
I can tell you, they are fighting to survive. They had a really good start to the season, have been slowly slipping. They lost the manager, Steven Schumacher, to Stoke. And they've got someone else in. I don't know what his name is, though. It's quite, and they've had a few tough games. I think they had West Brom over the weekend, was it? And lost to West Brom, 1-0.
What about West Brom? Do you know where they are?
Carlos Carvajal, manager.
Where are they in the
October.
league?
Christ. Just outside the playoffs or inside the playoffs?
Norwich?
Outside the playoffs, like 10th.
Fair. You two? Did you know any of that?
No, don't give a shit. Get to the point.
Well, this is my fix for the week. So I want to change the Championship. I want more eyes on it. And I want to bring better standard teams come up to the Premier League. So this is what I'm going to talk about for our fix this week. We'll talk about this after the break. So let's talk about my fix for this week. And it's to do with the championship and the quality coming up and more eyes on the championship. So, what I want to do, I want to get my magic wand. I'm going to break them off from the Football League, right? So, I want someone like Amazon, Netflix to come in, get all the rights, and put all the teams, put games live. So, advertise the shit out of it, make it massive, right? I want to reduce the number of teams in the league to 18, possibly 16. And I want to change the playoff format as well. So,
What two?
well, here we go.
Let's get all of it out. Go on.
So, I want a championship playoff. So, top 4 teams at the end of the season. So, after everyone's played everyone twice, top 4 teams go into a Champions League All-Star group game, right? So they play everyone twice, each other twice, and the top 2 play each other in a final at Wembley. So you get that bugbear what I have where the playoff currently is bigger than the actual winner of the championship. So that's my. Well, actually, there's another point as well. The third position plays in a playoff against Premier League third from bottom. Okay? So we're involving the Premier League into it as well. So there's that link. 3 teams still go down as well into League One, but there is a relegation playoff as well. So what would it be? 16th to 13th will be in a kind of group stage, and the bottom of that will go down with the other 3. So I think it would. I think this personally, I think it would be exciting to watch, and it would be linking into the Premier League a bit more. And I think the quality would be better. So you're getting quality teams into the Premier League and pump a load of money at it. Pump a load of money at it, get eyes on it. That would be my fix.
What has brought this on? Why are you feeling the need to fix the championship at the moment?
Personally, I just don't think it's been broadcast that much this year. I don't know about you guys. I know Liam watches every type of football. We watch Bundesliga, but I've not heard really much about it unless I'm doing the betting or now and again look at the table. I just think as well the quality of teams that are coming up to the Premier League are just not good enough, and I think if we're more closely knit with the Premier League and reduce the amount of teams in the Championship, and obviously put a load of money in, get better players in there, and more eyes on it, I think it would really benefit.
The Championship is in the top 5 leagues in Europe in terms of crowd attendances. So there's no need for eyes on it in terms of a local audience. In terms of the global audience, maybe, but are you ever going to get a second tier league being as popular or even more popular than what you need it to be?
Yeah, well,
we spoke about this in another podcast because we did speak about reducing the teams in the Championship to 20. It's currently 24. But I don't agree with the playoff stuff because I can't see the stakes will be higher for the Championship side, so they might be more up for it against the team who's been dogging out losses and won 3 times all season. But realistically, the Premier League side is going to be a lot stronger. You've got big clubs in the Championship currently, Leeds and Leicester and Southampton, Birmingham have been in there for ages. There's big clubs in the Championship.
Do you not think they will beat Luton?
Yeah, but I also think Luton could beat them. There's not much in it between the bottom of the Premier League and the top of the Championship.
But that's Really?
Yeah,
Well,
no, there isn't.
Well, that's the problem I'm trying to solve. Is I don't want this revolving door of the same teams coming up and then coming back down, and it's just I can't see it as a second Premier League in essence. That's what I'm kind of getting at. But again, do the American style of it. You know, the weekend where have the multi-screen and all the big kind of updates are all live and it's all accessible, so maybe more eyes can see it.
Liam, we spoke about this a while ago about sort of closing that gap a little bit in terms of the gap between the Championship and the Premier League, and I think that we did come to just cutting down the number of teams. And if you took the Championship to 20 teams, that does, it does help filter that out a little bit, and then you shift quality down further then into League One and League Two, because you need to, if you take all the leagues and put them into 20, eventually going to end up with some decent sides in Northern Conference and stuff like that. So
the problem is there's two different ideas here, Luke. You're trying to make the Championship more exciting, and you're trying to make the teams that come up better. They're two different things, I think. You've got to decide which one is more important. If you want to make the Championship more exciting, I struggle to think of ways to change it, to be completely honest, because I think people won't watch it anyway, to be completely honest. I think the viewership of the Championship is pretty good, especially domestically and in America. And that betting scenario that you've given there, you can't have that because of the 3 p.m. Blackout. Next season, I believe that a huge amount of Sky's gates. We've covered this in the TV package one episode, didn't we? So I'd have to. I know Luke was very keen for us to not research this episode, so I do apologise for not knowing the exact numbers on this. But there is a massive Sky package deal that involves a lot of Championship games being shown next season, more than any other. All midweek games are available on the red button at the moment. Do you watch
but who
any
uses
of them?
that, Liam? That's what I'm saying. Why can't
Do you
someone
watch, for example, do you watch Friday night Championship football?
No.
Well, that clashes very rarely with anything else.
Luke, would you sit and watch Sheffield v Luton?
I hope you would, because you're on a football podcast and Premier League.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing that you probably wouldn't. I can't guarantee that I would, just because it was on. Even if it was just on and it was the only thing on tonight, I'm probably not going to watch West Ham v Brentford that's on tonight.
Yeah, but so would you not, if it was advertised, like say Amazon took it and on Netflix and said, look, we are showing all the games, and they kind of go on, Liam, sorry.
Bolton play Wigan tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
Would you watch that? If that was on Sky?
No, you would, because we're from Bolton. It's different.
Exactly, yeah. But that's the point, isn't it? That's why you'd watch it. You wouldn't watch it because it is.
I wouldn't watch any League One game if it was on tomorrow.
No.
So, but the Premier League too, Luke, in terms of those teams being different, we covered this last time. The way to do that is to reduce the Premier League size and the Championship size to 16/18 teams. Split the money a bit like they do in Germany with a Bundesliga 1, Bundesliga 2. The money gets split better between those two leagues.
Yeah.
And I think that would be benefit. The only problem is it wouldn't make it more exciting because there'd be far less jeopardy on the promotion.
I did think about that because I kind of wanted to concentrate on the Championship, but I agree that would have to affect the Premier League as well. They'd have to do the basically the same thing, I suppose. But then it gets that more eyes. If you're advertising it as a second Premier League, I think more people would watch that and maybe more appetizing to watch than a Championship.
I think if you're splitting the money, how are you guaranteeing 36 teams the same coverage as what you give the current 20 in the Premier League? The Premier League is the ultimate league to be in for a big reason. It's this TV package.
Mm.
And if you're fighting for there's only so many hours in a weekend. in a week that you can get out football games. We can't be having games at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon when everyone's at work. They're going to run out of time to have these games.
That's why I'd say a company that's so Sky shows Premier League, but they show Championship. That's why I said completely just take it away from Sky. Have one broadcast that will be doing it. So like an Amazon has the sole rights to show only Championship, and that's no rebroadcaster that show the games.
That's not how the world works, though, is it? Because
yeah, but it's a magic one scenario. That's what I'm saying. If I don't know, if Amazon came and said, look, we'll give you 3 billion, we're going to take the Championship teams away, call it Premier League 2. Do you not think that would be quite exciting?
I don't personally. I don't see any appetite for this, in my opinion.
I think there is appetite, mine, but from the clubs in the Championship, there would be. But I think in terms of the product, the Premier League, people wouldn't want to touch that. It's the golden goose.
What about, all right, what from a Bolton's fan point of view, Liam, would that not be exciting if you made it to that Premier League 2?
Yeah,
but,
maybe.
And you get pumped a load of money and you got all your games shown.
We're being bought by Qatar anyway, so don't worry about it.
Liam's just happy as a club.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck it. You know, as long as we don't have to play Blackpool, that's what I want. Not having to play Blackpool away.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know that with this one.
I think Arsenal could win Premier League 2, Luke.
We wouldn't be in it. We're fucking nowhere near Premier League 2, mate.
Would Premier League 2 be harder to win than the Champions League, Martin?
Too busy wrapping up Premier League 1.
What about the playoff situation? Actually, what about the relegation?
Worst idea I've ever heard in my life.
Worst idea I've ever heard in my life too.
What about the relegation then?
Even worse.
They do it in Scotland and Germany, don't they?
No, well, they do it in Belgium. So.
And Belgium.
The famous Belgian league. Yeah,
I was wondering where I'd seen it before. Fucking.
So the Belgian league, for the third position plays off in the playoff against the third position in the second Belgian league.
It's quite common. It's quite a common thing. But what you tend to see, and the best example I've seen is in Germany, you do tend to see the Bundesliga team generally wins it, like most years. So it sounds good, but in practice, because it's done over 2 legs, it generally is that team that tends to win it.
Well, is that not fair then? You don't.
Because that team in the higher leagues had a full year of finances behind them at that level against a team that has not had that. So it's fundamentally unfair.
Yeah, but okay. Well, how is it though?
You could just say, I agree, Liam. You could just say that. You know?
But that goes to my point.
People who can't see your face can see that you were literally fighting your own instinct to say, Liam's right there. Makes sense. You could just say that. It's fine. Scott would have said thanks still if he said that.
I don't like it. I think it almost removes the merit aspect of doing well in your own league and getting promotion. It puts too much jeopardy on one game. It's not it turns a whole league season into a cup final.
Don't we all like to watch that cup finals?
No, I don't want to feel bad for someone who loses a cup final.
You don't care if it's not your team. You want to see cup finals. That's the point.
Do you feel bad for Scott?
No.
No.
Luke didn't address it, but we lost Scott at the break due to he's had to end his hunger strike.
He said the idea of the David and Goliath tire yesterday of lowly, poor Chelsea facing the absolute winning machine of Arsenal, Liverpool under 23s was too much for him. So he's.
He heard Luke mention the word championship and thought, "Fuck this." No, Luke, I'm not a fan. I don't. The only fix I could see is to concentrate the quality in the championship by reducing the teams, and then you sort of elevate the quality in the leagues further down by making them 20 teams as well, especially at the start, and then I think you start to see a bit more trickle down, a bit more of effect of this trickle down that they like to talk about. But I don't. No, it's not for me. This one.
Okay,
I've got a
Liam.
fix. Yeah, my fix is that you not in charge of ideas anymore and wasting 20 minutes of my time suggesting that we should have about 6 different playoffs in the championship at an unspecified time that involves 6 fixtures, when everyone else is just not doing anything. But, yeah, it's one of the worst ideas I've ever had in my life. Even for this group of people, it was a bad idea.
Fair enough. Listeners might disagree, so we'll just have to
Well,
see what they say.
You can't be wrong if it's an opinion, can you, Luke?
No, you can't.
No.
You can.
Right. Okay. So Liam's turn this week for the quiz question. So Liam, what was your quiz question for this week for the viewers?
Listeners.
Well, listeners, sorry.
So, Martin would be convinced that I would have forgotten that it was my question week this week.
Even though I reminded you 5 times.
Even though he reminded me 5 times. And I do have a question. And it is one of 2 options. So, which area has produced the most England players? Is it A, Greater London, or is it B, Merseyside and Greater Manchester combined?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, it must be hard to listen for 30 seconds. So, which area has produced the most England caps or players? Capped players. Is it A, Greater London, or is it B, Merseyside and Greater Manchester combined?
Yeah. Before you wrap it up, Luke, the answer to last week's question, the first ever red card in the Premier League, did any of you get it?
Was it Gareth someone?
Wasn't Jerry Taggart, Liam. No, we covered that in depth, really.
Are you sure?
It was Brian McAllister of Wimbledon. Scott isn't here to confirm that, but I just did a quick Google. So, yeah, go for it, Luke.
Okay, so thanks for listening, everyone, guys. So if you want to catch us on all social media platforms, please do so.
Such as, Luke?
fixingfootballpodcast.com. You can see us all our socials on that. Cheers, guys. Until next time.
Goodbye.
Well done.